Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over how we use Adbeat to find these new viral stories that I'm talking about. Uh, so this is the sign-in screen for Adbeat. So I'll sign in and I'll quickly show you what happens here as soon as it loads. When it loads, it should display this tab here that says Top Advertisers. Now all of these ads here are exactly that. They're ads. They're selling a product or a subscription to something or something else. That's why they have into the hundreds of millions of hits, because this is an ad that's going to appear all over several websites, several hundred websites most likely. So we don't really pay too much attention to this stuff. What we care about is this top ads button here. So when we click that, it'll bring up ads that are also stories. They're in this sense they're interchangeable, and I'll show you how. We can search by network here, and as I've noted in some of the instructions, that these are the networks that we're trying to get the stories on so that they can display them across various websites. The ones we've been using are this Taboola, Outbrain, and AdBlade. So I'll click on Outbrain and we'll take a look at what pops up. So the first story we see is something from AARP. And if you hover on this little box here, usually there's a featured image there. I don't know why it's not displaying. Sometimes they don't. And you can look and see it says 11 things you should never do again after 50. So that's an article that was put on AARP, and the ad impact was 23.6 million. So 23.6 million people since September 1st have seen this story, or have at least clicked on it and looked at it. In order to see where it's at, you click on Show Destination URLs. That'll bring up a list of the websites that it's on. Notice it's all AARP. So the top one, you can just right-click at that and go to Open Link in New Tab, so it doesn't mess you up here. Then we'll take a look at it. And so we got to pay attention to a few things here. Obviously, AARP stories are probably not going to be our style, but because this story got so many hits, so many views, we want to know why. And what our job is going to be is to come up with a redesigned pitch off of this story. So rather than do 11 things you should never do again after 50, I've gone ahead and actually used this and repitched it, and I came up with my own, which is, I'm going to get to it here. Let's see. It is 11 ways to stay young for as long as you can. That was the way I decided to repitch this story. I said, okay, how can I direct this story towards men, because I wanted to put it on Danger. And I decided to go with a theme of staying young. And so basically what I set it up as similar as I could to other websites like Viral Nova and things like that, to look kind of like how theirs do. So the first thing we do is we've got our title, and then our author name, and then a little introduction here about what we're about to see. This is all original stuff. And then I went ahead and I took some of the ideas, some of them, from this article, like parkour, and the second option here, jello shots, and the third one, karaoke. So these are all AARP's ideas of things you shouldn't do after 50. This one here, trying to break a plank with your head, I thought that was kind of dumb, so I left that out. So I used some of these original ideas, and then I replaced a lot of them too, and we'll see how I replaced them. Go back to here. So what I did was I put a subheading in, And all that is going to be one little line here that kind of, tells you what the picture is, sort of. And then I went and got all new pictures from Flickr. Actually found every single picture on here from Flickr. And they're all free to use, they're high quality, they look great. I mean, this is a crazy looking picture. Like, I don't know, I hope this guy landed safely, is all I have to say. And then a little blurb underneath that. Now, these captions here, they don't necessarily, not every story is going to be the same. I'll say it like that. And I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. But for this post here, the style I chose to design it with was give it a subheading, a very short subheading, a cool picture, and then kind of a caption that's a little longer, 2 to 3 sentences. Next one, got a new picture of Jello shots. That looks really cool. Put my subheading, and then a little caption. And then there's an add code that goes in the middle. So it's 1, 2 pictures, add code, 1, 2 pictures. This one, the karaoke one, got a new picture. These people look like they're drunk and having a lot of fun. It's kind of a silly looking picture, so I decided on that one. I thought it was fun. And my little caption underneath there. And then I found this one. I thought this was really cool. And I basically just searched for beer on Flickr. And I found this picture, and I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. That's perfect. Shotgunning a beer. Yes, that's totally something you do when you're young. So I went with that. We'll take another look at the other pages here, so just so you can see. Crowd surfing, got this cool picture, the caption, collect comic books, got a nice caption, ad, then cool picture for traveling, and then cool picture here for act like a kid. These are just all ideas that I came up with. I mean, I just, I decided where I wanted to go with this story, and then I just decided on different kinds of ideas to add to it. Make it better than the original, and of course, gear it towards our audience on Danger and Grand Ascent. Take a look at the last page. As you can see, I got some more going on here. Pool parties, music festivals, and jumping out of an airplane. All really cool pictures, a lot going on. Visually, it's kind of cool to look at, and my little captions to go with them. All that stuff's all original. Just didn't even read what was on that AARP because I was going to change it completely anyways. Make it all new, original stuff. So basically, that's just sort of the whole pitch process summed up very quickly. Now, if you want, let's take a look at a couple more here just to get an idea of how this works. Some of these are also ads, and they're selling stuff. Like this one here. Let's click on it. Business Insider, it says, this app is quickly replacing human financial advisors. So if you're not sure, you can always click on these, and it'll tell you really quickly. Obviously, once you get there, you'll be able to tell if this is a story or if they're selling something. It's actually pretty old, 2012. So probably would stay away from something like this. I don't even know how it made it on the list, but and this is kind of obscure, not very interesting. I'm bored already, so I'm not even gonna use that and try to try to redo it in any way. I'll look at another one here. Oh, this is good. 15 NHL stars with famous significant others. Okay, so I would take a story like this, and I would basically do, now we could go two ways. We could either do kind of the same idea, 15 NHL stars, and then just totally change the title, get all new pictures and everything, or you could just change the whole idea of the pitch, and maybe instead of NHL stars, we do NBA stars, or NFL stars, or MLB, or anything like that. You could even change the whole idea of it, and maybe make it from the celebrities' point of view, and be like 15 famous celebrities with athlete significant others, I guess. So that would work too. Basically, that's the idea. Is we see it, we look at these stories, and we see what they're about, and then we try to figure out how we can change them. Now, if I stay on this page, an ad will start playing, and I don't know how or where it is, but I don't want it to, so I'm not going to hang out here too long because it'll cover up my voice. So I'm just going to click this off so it doesn't happen. Okay, but you kind of get the idea here of how this works. And what you'll do is, if you're going to do the pitching, you come to Adbeat, you pick one of those networks, Outbrain, Taboola, AdBlade. Let's go to AdBlade. You can set this thing here to look back as, you can go 30 days, 90 days, 180, a whole year, 730 days. Let's set it to 90 days. Let's see if that changes stuff. Okay, maybe a little bit. So now we're looking at all of the popular stories that appeared through the AdBlade distribution network. This top one, let's hover on it. Why didn't they tell drivers about this new rule? Okay, I'm pretty sure this is selling something, so I'm not even going to click on it. Let's see this next one, fitstylelife.com. 50 most insane photos that aren't photoshopped. Okay, 4.5 million clicks, 77 days. Okay, that's pretty good. Anything in the millions is good. So we want to at least check this one out. And I'm pretty sure it's not an ad. So, alright, so 60 insane photos. I actually already took this story and repitched it into the spreadsheet, but I did it a little bit differently. I forget how I did it, but let's see. Buzz, no, AdBlade, yes. Okay, let's take a look. Celebrities, 60 insane photos that you won't believe are photoshopped. So my spin on that, my twist, my change of that was these 30 places defy reality, and my second title for that was 30 of the coolest places on earth. Got the H. There we go. Okay. So if I looked through all these pictures, and about half of them are places, really cool places, and they look crazy. So that's kind of how I got that idea. I'm like, well, just weird, cool photos. That's not enough. We need something a little better. So that's when I started noticing, after I clicked through them all, that a lot of these are places. And that's how I got that idea. I'm like, well, why don't we focus on places? I mean, these pictures are really cool, but they not really fit in our style, so to speak. Here's the first one. Camel thorn trees during sunrise at Dedelevi Nevia. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that again because I have no idea what that is. Okay, looks really cool. So I would pick this photo, and then I would go through the rest of this post and try to find as many cool photos of places as I could. And if I didn't hit 30, well, I would see how many I had. If I had like 24, that's probably good enough. If I had like 8, then I'd probably do some of my own searching, which means I'd go to Google and I would try to search for really cool, crazy places. And then I would pick maybe another 10, 15, whatever pictures, try to make sure they're free to use, and then I would include that into this final post, and I'd make a whole post based on that. And that would be how we pitch these ideas. That's basically the whole process, is look on these advertising networks for popular stories, and then try to take those stories and repackage them. You know, just whatever kind of jumps in your mind that would fit our, you know, the websites, Danger and Grand Ascent. Let's take a look at one more here. Oh, viralworld.net. Okay, what's this story? 18 family photos that are just wrong, but we can't stop staring. Okay, I actually did this one too. Here we go. There's the 28 awkward family photos. I went with, my idea was, these family photos are totally inappropriate, but you can't look away. And 24 families whose photo fails you will love. And then my idea was, for differences, is just to focus on the theme of crazy instead of awkward. So I might look through this post here. Oh, I never actually opened it, sorry. Let's see, show destination, let's take a look. Start closing some of those. 28 awkward family photos. So, like that one, okay, that's funny. But I look through these and I'll try to find crazy ones, like, whoa, okay, this is pretty good. This is kind of crazy. Something like this, definitely awkward, but not crazy. So I probably wouldn't use that one. So I'd go through here and I'd try to find the craziest ones. And if I didn't get to a high enough number, you know, it's, I would say probably nothing less than maybe 12. I try to keep it between 12 and 30, let's say, for pictures. It's just, and that's going to depend on you. How many you think it's going to take to make a good post. If you can find that many, you know, that's why we don't want to go too high, like nothing past 30, 36, unless the original post is something very specific. Then I probably wouldn't use all the photos and try to shoot for a bunch. I try to keep a good number. You know, maybe like I like 20, I like 24, anything divisible by 4, because when we post these on our sites, there's going to be 4. Like this one only has 3, but the previous ones, there's four pictures per slide or page. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why I kind of want to stick with numbers that are divisible by 4, so we can get 4 to a page and don't have like one dangling, you know, at the end. Like say there was 4 pages here, and the last page just had 1 picture. Try to avoid that. So basically, that is how this Adbeat website works. Is you go to Top Ads. You pick your network here, Taboola, AdBlade, Outbrain. Those are the 3 we've been using. We might use more in the future, but just as a starter, those 3. You pick it, and you decide how far back you want to go, either 90, 180, or 365 days. And you look through these and you try to find good stories, and then you try to think, you know, how can these stories be better? What kind of different pictures can we use? How do we gear this towards men or women, depending on which site we're going to put it on? Sometimes you might be able to take one story and do it for both. I think there was one I found for BuzzFeed that was like about how big sisters are really important. So I kind of changed that a little bit, and I made it for, I actually did it on little sisters, I believe. And then I did one for how brothers are important. So I took one idea and I split it into 2, one for each site, and those 2 new ideas were still different from the original. Okay, so that's basically what you need to know about Adbeat and about making pitches from Adbeat. The next video will be BuzzSumo.